so what I'm doing here is dry lining mass concrete, external walls of mass concrete house. So this house was built 1940s, so the house was renovated and there was an extension put on in the 80s. That's it there. That's cavity wall, but this external wall you're looking at is mass concrete. It's about 9 inches thick. There used to be a shower here in the corner. It was a terrible design in the corner of a bedroom, so this wall suffered badly with condensation because it was a cold wall and a shower in the room. Anyway, so the dry line I'm using is loosely based on the isover Optima system. So we're going to be using metal stud, chip frame stud, GL1 and GL8 studs, 100mm off the wall. We'll be using brackets then to carry the studs. More or less the same as the isover Optima system. There will be 100mm of isover metac G3 insulation, and then we're going to be putting a vapor barrier membrane over that. But the vapor barrier membrane isn't going to be the isover one because it's ridiculously expensive. It's very good obviously, but we're going to be using a gerband SD, I think is the name of it. I'll post more about that later, but so far we're just putting up the tracks on the walls and the ceilings and the floors, the channels. Just using laser levels then to do that. So screw and plug into the floor and the walls. Just your standard red plugs. Obviously being careful of pipes. Ceilings, then we're finding studs that way. The studs are running this way. So we found the joists and screwed up into that. Lengthways we don't really have much. So we're just putting a series on the slab screws up into the gyprock, or the slab, just to hold it. Now there's going to be plenty of brackets up along the top there. That track isn't necessarily holding the wall as much, it's more the brackets off the wall. These are brackets we're going to be using. So there's going to be a line of them up along, they'll hold the stud and they'll bend back then until it hangs out over, folds back. There was a radiator there, it's been gotten rid of, and there's a radiator here, there's going to be a new one put on. You can see there that's a mask, well it's plaster but bits of dampness. The ceiling, we were going to patch it, which isn't a good job, and it's an afterthought. We're going to overboard the ceiling and skim it as well. Ideally you would have boarded the ceiling first, but as I said, it's an afterthought, so it doesn't really make a huge amount of difference. We'll board the ceiling after the walls. There's plenty of joists there to screw up into, so it'll be fine. Next step will be to finish off the bit of track in here. There's going to be a small alcove. We're just going to put shelves in there. It's more or less mirrors the existing alcove that's there, but it'll be smaller because you're cutting 100mm out of the depth of it either side. Next thing then will be to put up the brackets, then put the insulation in, push it through the brackets, so brackets help hold it. Once the insulation's in, then we need to put the studs up at 600 centres.